Welcome to Sports Close-Up. Mike Fiorillo, Jim Berger. Jim, good to see you.
Mike, thank you.
Today we have a great show, Jim. Cochranton Cross Country. We have two of the coaches. We have Aaron Roach and Mark Roach. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
What a great season.
Fantastic.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the stuff right in front of us here?
Oh, well, set some records this year. Started out, thought we had a pretty good team to start with, and each week we just got better and better, so we were able to capture the region championship, which we were runners-up last year. So we had that on our radar because, you know, when you're runner-up, you've got to get back there. And suspected that we might be pretty good on the district level, and that's the first one the school has had in cross country for a district, which of course then qualifies you go to the state meet and run with the big boys. And we finished 7th. We were 3 points out of 6th place.
That's outstanding. So let's not go over this too quickly. First D10 title in the history of Cochranton High School in cross country.
Right.
That's something that you guys should be proud of, and all the players, and we're going to interview a lot of those coming up here, something they'll remember the rest of their lives. They were the first ones to do it for Cardinals.
Most definitely. The season, or this has been kind of in the works for a number of years. They usually take 2 teams or 3 teams, depending on where you're at, to qualify. So normally you're kind of sighted on trying to get the teams to qualify. And over a number of years, we were, if it was 3 teams, we were 4th, and if it was 2 teams, we were 3rd. So this year, we thought we'd run most everybody on the district level, and there were a couple of teams that we hadn't seen a whole lot of, Northeast being one of them, because they're usually a perennial power in cross country, and Seneca is the runner-up from last year, so we knew they were pretty decent. We had beaten them, but knew that they were, and then there's always the dark horse that you don't know who's going to be there, and we kind of were in that role, because a few teams kind of knew a little bit about us. They'd seen us, but weren't sure exactly where we were at. So put together a really good race. Everybody ran probably the best race that they did cumulative. And so the race is over, and the anticipation starts now, because it's 15, 20 minutes before you know, and you talk to everybody. And so finally they start coming up on it, and we were on the #1 spot. So
that is great.
You said that you had a feeling you guys were going to do well on a district level. You've been building up towards it. What made this team, what made you feel that this team was going to be good heading into the year?
Well, last year, again, we had no seniors, so we were running with freshmen and sophomores last year. And as the season went on, we seemed to get better and better. And towards the end of the season, we were running pretty well. So at our end of the year party or banquet or whatever, several of the members of the team said, you know, I think we just need a little more training, Coach. How about if we just start training now for next year? And that was what happened. And of course, I coach basketball here at the high school also. So a lot of times I have 2 workouts in my pocket, and one goes to them, and they're out in the middle of the winter, snowing, blowing, raining, whatever. Same way in the spring, once basketball was finished, and I came down 2 or 3 nights a week. We're in the weight room, we're doing stuff, but there was a dedication there and a focus there that maybe was the missing link. And as we came into the summer, we go 4 nights a week in the summer, and very few absentees. And the routes that I was sending them on, they were getting easier for them. So that's always a good sign too. So we were doubling up on stuff, and it was just there. So coming into the season, it was like, just don't get anybody hurt, and we're okay to go. So,
and I know it's always a delicate balance. Also, you know, you want them to be in great shape when they come in, but you really don't want them to peak. You know, Labor Day, you want them to keep, you know, improving as the season goes on. And I'm sure it's difficult doing that, preventing them from wanting. You almost have to slow them down. But it seems like the group really bought in.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of group runs where I send them out. We call it our 50% effort. We send them out for a number of miles, and it kind of does a twofold thing. It gets us the base that we need. It also brings the group together so everybody feels comfortable running there, and the leaders sometimes slack off a little bit and bring the other guys along, which helps there, because they get a little bit more. We don't like to scatter them out too much, and they spend a lot of weekends together as a group, and so that was kind of the core of what we tried to do this year.
That's great.
Aaron, let's get you involved in this discussion also. How long have you been coaching here at Cochranton?
This is my 13th year.
13th year. And did you run? Did you ever run?
I ran for my dad when I was
in
high school.
So, okay.
So I went through the program.
So you went through the program. What kind of changes did you help make within the training program of the whole team since you've been added onto the staff? Because you ran here. So did you give some suggestions to Dad that maybe we need to do this or that, or, you know?
Well, it's just the changing, how the students are changing now. As I see it at the elementary school, how we just need to change things a little bit, but a lot of his philosophies are still the same on when I was there, so.
And what's the dynamic like coaching with your dad?
Oh, it's fun. Except when they're in trouble,
I like the way she looked at you.
when they get in trouble, though, I get in trouble too as we walk across the parking lot back home. So I hear it twice. But it's good when we celebrate things too. We hear it twice too. So.
And it must be very enjoyable for you, Coach, to have your daughter as one of your top coach there to help you.
Yeah, most definitely. When I first started out, she was 2 or 3 years old, and from the very beginning, we were taking her to meets, and some of our early teams kind of tabbed her as Coach Junior. So when we talked to some of our alumni, they still asked, "Is Coach Junior still there?" Well, Coach is now a little bit older, but up through the years, it is an opportunity to kind of share something. We spend 3 or 4 hours a day when they do good things, longer when they're having problems, but gives us an opportunity to do something we really enjoy.
And it probably helps too, the dynamics where one of your runners might feel more comfortable talking to Aaron than you about a certain situation.
Oh, most definitely.
So that helps, right?
Most definitely. Yeah, I find out through the back door.
I was going to say, they talk to me more than they talk to him.
I was going to say, along those same lines as well, the runners knew that you were in the program. That's got to kind of help as well.
Yeah.
You went through it, now you're coaching them. They can connect with you even closer.
Been there, done that, yep.
Exactly, yep.
So, you have a young team, you accomplished a lot, won the region, won the district, so what's the next thing? Well, I mean, do we defend these two next year? Is that the goal?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Like I told them before, you were the.
I like Coach's confidence.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
great.
no.
You got to be confident.
You've got
right?
to. We sell that by the gallon. You have to do that. That's what it's all about. Is going to the next level. We were the dark horse, which is a little easier because
now you have the
nobody.
target on your back.
Now you got the target, so it makes you have to work harder. It makes you have to do all the little things. And in cross country, like any sport, it's all the little things that matter. Everybody wants to run the big race and be at the big race, but it's all those little things that were on in the middle of the winter when nobody was watching, or the middle of the summer when nobody was around and everybody else was on vacation. The days that you didn't feel like being here, but you knew, hey, we got to defend those suckers. We're going to have to be here, and I can't take that day off because my competitor, I always tell them, I always used that when I was in college, my competitor is working out that day, so I can't take the day off. I've got to outwork him or her, whatever. So
Let's talk about your background too. Tell us about your background in running and so forth.
I didn't run in high school because I graduated from Cochranton High School here in 1970. As a matter of fact, I was kind of behind getting the cross-country program started.
Okay.
I was a member of the student council, and we ran on a platform that we wanted to add more sports. Cochranton at that time had boys baseball, basketball, and wrestling, and the girls had cheerleading. So we thought, well, we want to add something, so we proposed volleyball and cross country. Well, cross country is probably the cheapest sort you can put together.
Yeah.
And so the next year after
shorts and a shirt and we're good.
there you go.
And go.
There you go. So the next year when I went to Edinburgh, was where I went to college, they started cross country, and a matter of fact, Mel Daney, who I ended up coaching with for a number of years, was the first cross country coach that ran the program. When I went to Edinburgh, I was a basketball player. I played 2 years of basketball for Edinburgh, and then my running skills, they decided I should probably go to the other office, and so they took me to the other office, and so I started running for them. I ran 3 years of track and 3 years of cross country.
They have a history of great cross-country teams back then, if I'm not mistaken, Edinburgh University in the 70s and 80s, correct?
Right. We were very fortunate all the years that I was in college. I never lost a dual meet.
Yeah.
We were third nationally in '74, and we won 2 track. We were PSAC champions in cross country all the years that I was there, and we had 2 track championships also. Wow. And I was able to run. One of my friends was a 6-time All-American, so I kind of learned from him. I had met him through the basketball program, and ended up, I probably did better in track than I did cross country. I was 40-something in the nation in cross country, but I was 4th in track, so that's how I earned All-American.
Wow,
so,
That is awesome. So you've been in Cochranton here a long time. So you get the job as a cross-country coach, you start reading books and calling other coaches, or talking to some people at the college, or?
Well, you call one person, that's Coach Watts, who's my
Yes.
coach, and so
Well,
there isn't anything, as far as in Edinburgh,
You know what?
there is nothing better.
There is nothing better. And I think they have a trail named after him.
They named the course
right?
after him,
Yeah.
after 40-plus years
Yeah.
of coaching and that. I was on some of the very beginning teams. The cross-country program at Edinburgh started in '69.
Right.
So I'm on the very
you
beginnings,
were-
the teams,
right.
and we were becoming good at that time.
You were there when Coach Watts was a young guy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he wasn't a whole lot older than we were at the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long. You said it started in '69.
Yeah. Well,
what do you
he-
think the secret was to building it so successfully so quickly?
Well, it was his philosophy, which is similar philosophy that I use. It's a very positive thing. At that time, it was based on over distance. When I was there, we ran 100-mile weeks, which they don't do anymore, but it was based on that. He always chose those kind of individuals that could take that. A lot of times we didn't get the number ones or the number twos because they thought they were better than we were. So when you get the 3, 4s, and the 5s, and you make them into the 1s and 2s, and that's what it became. It was always a team effort. We never talked about individuals, anything. It was always what the team did, and we worked towards that, which is the same philosophy I use with these people.
So, Aaron, how do you and your dad build the team? How do you find people that want to run cross country? Because let's be honest,
It's hard.
a lot of schools had these shirts years ago that your punishment is our sport.
Yeah.
Because,
You still see those.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said it's hard, but how do you find someone? Do you look at elementary level that you're down there and you see somebody, a girl or boy running, and say, this kid possibility could be a good runner down the road?
We start a 5th and 6th grade program
Okay.
down there that
So you have a
just
little
gives
feeder
them,
system
Yeah,
then.
so they can kind of get to know what we do and how we do things. It's only 2 weeks and it's before track and field day, so it kind of builds them up to track and field days just so they can see if they want to do it or not. Because we're not going to push them if they don't want to do it.
Right.
Then don't do it. It's kind of your idea what you want to do.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, I've been here for 13 years, how different the kids are now compared to then. What are some differences that you've seen, in the elementary school kids and I guess in the high school kids as well?
It's harder to motivate them at times because they want to sit home and
Yeah.
play on their video games.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything, and it's this is an individual sport but also a team sport, so they
Yeah.
have to do it. We can't put them on the bench or anything. They've got to go out and do it too. So
Right.
they've got to want to be here and be part of it. So
And that's one of the really cool things I find fascinating about cross country. People look at it as an individual sport. Oh, I took first, I took second. But you can have a first and a second place runner and finish 10th in the meet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit about that pack mentality. I know you said they run very closely together as a team. A lot of viewers at home, like I said, I finished first, I finished second. Well, that's great, but how'd the team do? Explain a little bit about the tight pack mentality in cross country.
Well, cross country, we have a lot of, when some of the kids join, the parents come and they're as confused as sometimes some of the kids are. Is it time, is it whatever? Well, cross country is basically on place, is what it is. So, for instance, you get in a big invitational, if you're first, you get 1 point, and if you're 10th, you get 10, and 100, or you're 100, or whatever. So you take your 5 runners and you add those up, and that's what gives you your points. So now, if I can run everybody very close together, we attempt always, our interval this year was about 1.5 minutes to 1:50, which we're going to do better than that next year. The winning team down in the States, for instance, their interval was 47 seconds. So they had all 5 runners within 47 seconds of each other. So by grouping together, it makes the numbers lower. And that's what it has nothing to do with time. The time is just our gauge to find out where they are, because cross country, unlike track, is different. Every course is different. That has hills, no hills, muddy, whatever. Where track, at least, if you're on a synthetic track, at least it's always going to be consistent. So the time is basically for us. And it's when you do a dual meet, for instance, if you'd get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get 15 points, and that's like a shutout, and you would shut out the other team. Now, the number 6 and the number 7 runners, in cross country, you're allowed to run 7 runners. Number 6 and 7 become displacers. So if you're best runner or whatever, I can put my 6th guy in somewhere in the middle. I can shove you even a little farther back. Even though their names don't show up in the scoring, they actually do the duty. We always honor our 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're the guys that do the work. 1 and 2 take all the credit, but 3, 4, 5, 6 do all the work.
Well, coaches, I want to thank you for a few minutes. We're going to interview some of your runners right now.
Good.
Back, I have Stephen Clulo to my right.
Noah Bagarni on my left.
2 members of the Cardinal cross country team. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Stephen, you're a junior.
Yep.
So let's start with you. How exciting. How many years have you run cross country?
Since 7th grade, so this is my 5th year.
And did you see, as the coaches said, did you see the improvement every year for this team?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we were good in junior high my 8th grade year because we had most of the same guys. And then we just kind of figured as we moved up, we'd keep improving. So.
How close is this team? You guys like friends? And you
Yeah.
put pranks on each other and everything?
Yeah, we pick on each other a lot, yeah.
Noah, I'm sure as a sophomore, you've been in 7th grade as well. Is that when you started?
6th grade.
6th grade, that's great. What did it mean for you to have such a great year, only as a sophomore, looking ahead what you could accomplish in the future?
Good.
The fact that only your second real year with the varsity team, you guys were able to do so well. Was that a big accomplishment?
Yeah. Last year we did decent. We didn't win the district or anything, but this year we improved quite a bit. So next year should be even better.
How did you do personally this year, Steve?
I felt I did pretty good. Not so good. I didn't have the best race at the state meet, but the other ones I definitely felt more confident.
Districts, you did better,
Yeah, yep.
and you won the region.
Mm-hmm.
What were your times this year?
They were usually mid to low 17s, somewhere in there.
Let me ask you a question. When you're running, what are you thinking about?
Catching the next guy in front of me.
Is that right?
Yep.
I just think about breathing when I'm running.
Me too. I'm thinking about when am I done running?
And Noah, what was it like racing? You raced in the districts, and what was it like going into the state championship? Did you feel a little more pressure, a bigger field? Were you nervous? Or you just kind of try to run your own race?
A lot more pressure. I didn't remember anyone last year from who I ran with this year in state meet. There was only one kid that I ran with during the season that I actually remembered was a West Middlesex runner. He was 22nd. So.
Okay.
How much pride is it, Stephen? How much pride is it being you guys are at a school that's really small.
Yeah.
One of the smaller schools in the state. And when you get to the state meet and you guys are running and you're beating kids from bigger schools, and how much pride does it have to be a Cardinal? You won the region, first guys team ever to win District 10 in cross country. You must have a lot of pride,
Yeah,
right?
there is. But we try not to be cocky, just confident, because we know we could slip up any time and any other school could just be as good as us and beat us. So.
That's a great thing to say. So you have a quiet confidence
Yeah.
about yourselves and you know what the task in hand. What's it like to coming in the summer? I mean, there got to be times when you guys will say, man, I got to go down there and run. I really don't want to go down there and run.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out. I got a barbecue here at my house, and I got to leave and go run so coach is not upset with me.
Yeah.
Now, does the parents support that? Does mom or dad say, hey, you need to run? Go run.
Yeah.
I'm taking you down there to run.
Because I took last year off wrestling, so my parents told me if I'm going to take wrestling off, I have to run. So they were pretty on me about it, about going over, which they didn't really have to that much because we make it fun when we're going. So.
But that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The parents are involved. And do they go to a meet?
Oh, yeah. Most every one of them.
I got to ask this question. I should have asked Coach this too. You go to a football game, you sit in the stands. You go to basketball, you sit in the stand. Where do you go to watch a cross country meet? Because you guys run. I mean, where did the parents go? Do they just stay at the end of the end?
No,
or
they go all over.
They'll run
Yeah,
with
really?
them. I've seen
Yeah.
it, yeah.
So they're allowed to go and
Yeah.
hear and watch?
If they're running 3.1 miles, the parents are probably running 3.5 miles.
Do you have family go watch you too now?
Yes.
And cheering you guys on and so forth? So that must be exciting.
Yeah.
I guess I'll ask both of you this. Mike mentioned earlier how our sport is your punishment. What got you guys into running?
Yeah.
I know you wrestled, so I'm sure you have to keep in shape.
Yeah.
How about what made you get interested into it, and when did you really start getting interest?
When I was in 5th grade, my mom took me to a race because she did cross country and she ran with our coach was my mom's coach.
Oh, okay.
And she took me to a race in Newcastle, and I ran there for the first time.
And fell in love with it. You got hooked. And she had to be pretty thrilled then, being the
Yeah.
fact that she ran in this program to see how well you guys did
Yeah.
this year.
What do you like about running? I mean, what gives you the satisfaction of running?
Just after you get done with a long run and you think back on everything that you just accomplished and everything that you're going to do during the season, it just, I don't know, makes you feel good.
Now, you guys have learned a lot about time management, you know, when you're in school and you practice and everything. How does that help you as far as academics is concerned?
Coach always says that it's school first and then running second, so we just know that we have to keep our grades up, and we're usually like the good kids in the school because, as he likes to say, you can't. Oh, I don't know if I should say that. Never mind.
Yeah, if it's real bad, we don't want to say.
Yeah.
But I would imagine most of the kids on your team get good grades.
Yeah. Yep. All on the honor roll. That's what he likes.
That's great.
And do you think that running, Noah, keeps you more alert?
Yeah. Probably because like mentally we have to be really tough, so we can usually apply that for academics and everything.
Definitely a mental grind running, correct? Like when you're out, you know, today it wouldn't be such a bad day. It's a little cool, but it's not bad. But what about when you're out there and it's raining, you know, and the wind's blowing?
Those are really fun days, though.
Yeah, they are.
We usually will do like, we'll splash each other, or get like the girls' team and we'll splash them. So that's really fun to do.
Okay, well that's good.
And how about the heat? That can't be very fun. Middle of August, I know you said you had a couple times a week you have the summer workouts. I mean, I hate sitting out in the chair when it's 90 degrees out. I couldn't imagine running a 5K. So. Also, speaking about your summer workout, Coach, I was interested in this as well. I know you said you guys did a lot of lifting. How important is that for cross country, and what were some of the lifts that you guys did?
I think it was pretty important. We tried to do our calves, and I remember, didn't we try and do like our elbows or shoulders and everything?
Up here.
Not elbows. So like when you're running, you don't like mess with your
tense up.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And I'm sure core strength's also very big as well. Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for giving us a few minutes. Been to interview a couple of your teammates.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Back now, I have Alex McKay next to me.
Alex Jackson next to me.
Guys, Alexis, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Mr. McKay, you are a junior.
Yes.
When did you know that Region and District 10 was going to happen this year?
I figured that like about halfway through the season when we were starting to win most of the invitationals and most of the tri-meets and working our way up through, we were getting better as the season progressed, and we just kept getting our time interval closer and closer, and that ended up to the region and district win there.
What do you have more fun at, a dual meet or a big invitational?
I have more fun at a big invitational. It's more like competition for you to have. You know more people there that you can run with, you know who you can stay with, who you can beat. It's just fun. You have a lot of friends from other teams that you just know and congratulate when they run, cheer them on when they run.
It's kind of a respect factor,
Yeah.
but you still want to beat that person, you know, and they want
It's
to beat you.
all of it's off when the race starts.
Yeah, Alex, as a sophomore, how big was it for you to go onto that state stage this year? I know last year as a freshman, you guys had some success, but this year to see the team come together, like I said to Noah earlier, you know, how does it look? You know, how did it feel for this year, and then looking ahead to see what you guys can even do, you know, next year, the year after?
It was very honoring this year. It was a little nerve-wracking in there, but we have some pretty great leaders in our juniors and the rest of the team. They were able to calm us down and show us what we needed to do. And Noah had been there before, so he gave us a little experience, and that was able to help. And just looking forward, I mean, keep our goals to what we need to do. We got a target on our back, but we'll use that and keep pushing.
Does Coach have a look like when he's not happy? You're not saying anything, but he
you
has
can't
like a
really
look.
tell with Coach. He's never really happy.
Okay.
I don't think he was happy about that.
So
He's laughing. He's fine.
So is it? So you're saying he's a hard read?
Yeah.
Is Erin an easier read?
She can be an easier read at some points, yes. They're pretty close, pretty similar.
Do both of the coaches push you people a lot in a
yes.
positive way that
Yes.
you have more to give?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I love having like coach cheer or like push me because it makes me better as a runner, better as a person, and like a better team player and all of it.
Alex?
Yeah, he always tells our parents that he's the one we're supposed to hate, which is for sure because he pushes us to our limits, and that's that's why we're sitting here, because he does what he needs to do and gets us where we need to be. So
Your parents must be supportive also, though, of coach's techniques, and they must see what can come out of those too, correct? Does your family get to go to a meet sometimes?
oh yeah, they go to most of
Yours
them.
too?
Yep.
My parents, grandparents, they're there every meet.
That's awesome.
That's great.
So what was it like? What was the feeling like when you got you guys didn't bring them because I didn't tell you to? It's my fault. But what was it like getting those District 10 medals?
Very, very honoring. A lot of work put in the summer, and these guys putting in the winter, and just to be able to see what came out of that, just very honoring to have that medal.
And you know, Coach Roach someday will put up another plaque, and it'll be the first District 10, and that'll be up there forever. You know, you can go back at 25 years from now, and you go, hey, I was on that team, man. I was the first one to win District 10 Cochranton, you know? Strut down the hall a little bit. That was my team. You know, that's pretty cool, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very honoring to be a part of this team, too. Everyone's so good together. We're all close friends. It's just an amazing team.
Now, talking earlier with Coach and then with the last two guys, it seems like there's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of mental toughness that goes into the season. You know, as Coach Roach said, you guys got together last winter and said, all right, it's time we start getting ready. You know, over the summer when it's 90 degrees out, you could go swimming or you could go to a baseball game, but you have to go run. And then, you know, we talked about the running stuff, the off-season gym workouts. What are some other sacrifices? I'm sure dietary, you guys really have to watch out, stuff like that all year. You know, how is that? Is it tough? But how rewarding was it then, you know, last week when you guys were at that state race?
Very rewarding. That's why we were there, because we did what we had to do, got enough sleep, got what we needed to eat, did our workouts. It's everything we needed to do to get there, and we wouldn't be there without all that stuff. So that's exactly why we're there.
And it's got to be a great example to the younger kids on your team as well. You know, it might be tough to go through it, but it's really worth it in the end.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, good question right there. What do you guys eat before a meet? Or a match, or an invitational, like, what do you eat? Spaghetti or pasta?
Usually the
What do
night
we eat?
before, it's spaghetti, some sort of pasta, just to get us
I
carb.
could have ran cross country being Italian.
Yeah.
What about after?
After the race, you want to get good protein, and you get eggs, stuff like that, and you just to build muscle and keep it there.
Lots of fluids,
Yeah, a lot of water.
Question was asked to the other two gentlemen before. The lifting that's taking place, how's that helping you guys?
Makes you stronger. Use your arms, pull you up when your legs are tired. Use your arms to keep you going. When you're going up hills and stuff like that, you need your leg strength so your legs aren't weak and stuff like that. So it really does help. Keeps you
Very
going.
little, though, is physical. It's mainly all mental. If you don't have it mentally, you're not going to have it physically, basically.
And you know, I asked the other two guys this too: does that help you in your classroom then, as an academic student? The mental thing about mental toughness, because sometimes you know you're gonna come to a class, chemistry, physics, whatever it is, and you know you're looking at, man, that's too hard. I'm not gonna try it. You keep plugging away.
Yeah, for sure.
And looking, you're talking about the mental toughness, as you said, Mike. You know, when you're out there running in meets, you know, everyone always says practice is always the hard part, meets are the easy part. Would you agree with that? You know, do you feel a lot better after running in an invitational than you did on like a Tuesday afternoon workout?
Yeah, mostly. The practices are a lot tougher, I would say, because you gotta do a lot more to become better, so the races are easier. But the races aren't easy. You still got to push yourself during the race and keep going, and at the end you just feel good usually that you finished and did what you needed to do.
I'm gonna ask you a real side track question here. Who's the best singer on your team? Because I know you guys probably sing on a bus or in a car or something. Who's the best singer on the team here?
For the boys, I would have to say Steven. He's pretty good, but we got a girl, Maddie. She can belt it out too.
She's good,
so
man.
yeah, have to have some competition sometimes to use better.
Just want to know which one's going to be on The Voice someday.
No.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Just think. Well, guys, thanks for giving us a few minutes. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
Make us come back here again next year and get another one.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yep.
We will.
Hopefully.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Back here with two more members of the boys team, a historic boys team. Lee Alt, to my right.
Jack Oakley to my left.
And Lee, what grade are you in?
I am a junior.
You're a junior also, so tell me how satisfied you were winning the first District 10 in the history of Cochranton.
Really satisfied. We've put a lot of work in collectively through the winter. Me and Jack started running over the winter 2 years ago, actually. It just started out because we were bored and we really liked running.
All right, let me stop you there for a second, Emily. You were bored. You're talking about running over the winter in northwestern Pennsylvania. It is January. The snow was all over the place. It's like 10, 25 degrees out with the wind blowing. You're outside running?
Well, yeah.
Because you were bored. Now, what do you guys wear in those conditions when you're outside running? And where are you running around here?
Same places we normally run, just around the streets and stuff. Got to be a little bit careful with ice, though.
Yeah, and cars.
Yeah, and cars. But as for what you wear, you usually just wear your normal running shorts, a long sleeve shirt, and a sweatshirt.
Oh, wow. And what about just your running shoes?
Yeah, just your regular training shoes.
Wow.
Jack, what grade are you in, and I guess what got you into running as well? Same deal?
I'm a junior, and I came in when I was 9th grade because him here and a couple others on the team were like, hey, you should come do this because we need another runner. And I was like, I guess I'll try it out. So I tried it, and I liked it. So.
And how did it feel, to be on top this year with your team?
It really good because like you said, we put in a lot of work as a team collectively, and it's just good to know that we actually did something that will stand here forever.
Forever, yep.
Lee, listen to some of your teammates' comments when you were walking up here. They said don't talk about physics or whatever. I got a feeling that you like science and you incorporate that in running.
Yeah, I'm decent at physics. I manage.
That means you're pretty good at math if you like physics.
Reasonable. He's actually better at math.
Okay. But how do you apply physics into your running?
I don't a whole lot. Every once in a while, it'll just kind of float around for a while. But not a whole lot during races. During races, it's all about the running.
Okay, and tell me about how the lifting programs helped you become a better runner.
Definitely strengthens some of my weaker muscles. Helps with stability and balance mostly.
Were you guys kind of leery of that when you first, were told you were going to lift and this is why we're lifting? You guys kind of like saying, we're running, what have we got to lift for?
Yeah, I was definitely like that. But
a
now
little bit, Coach said too, so
and now
that's what we did.
I definitely see why we did it now because it has helped a little bit.
So now you buy into it because you see how it's helped and how it can even make you a better runner.
Talking to the other group, it's very interesting the dynamic that you guys have at big meets. You know the runners that you're running with. You recognize everyone. What's that rivalry like, and what's it like when, maybe one week someone beats you by 1 or 2 spots, but then the next week you get them? What's that like? I'm sure you gain these, I wouldn't say friendships, but friendly rivalries with these other runners over the course of a career. How cool of a dynamic is that?
It's really cool, and actually some of them you are friends with, like before and after you talk to them and have nice conversations, but when the race is on, it's on. You're against them.
Until he tries to cut you off at the finish line.
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys compete in running. Is it different though when you just go for a run? Like say when the season's over and you just going for a run, is that an enjoyable type thing?
It's pretty much always enjoyable, but especially during the off season and you're just you're going to put your miles in, but you're going to hang out more than anything else. You're working out, but you're socializing too. You're talking to whoever's beside you. You're having conversations. You're messing around, splashing the puddles. That whole deal.
And both of you tell us about that pack mentality. How you guys are helping each other as you're running a race. Explain that to us.
It was definitely helpful through some situations because some races you feel like, oh, I can't keep going. Even if you have the mental strength, sometimes you just can't go. But sometimes the teammate coming up right beside you just saying, let's go or something like that. It's all you need. You can continue on.
And tell us also, in many schools, there's a lot of cross-country teams. A lot of schools have it today. But the people that get most of the attention are your football team, your basketball team, the big sports,
Yes.
Where do you guys fit in here at Cochranton? And do people say, hey, good job at your cross-country meet, or good luck at sections, or Did it become more? Did people become more aware when you had more success this year?
Definitely people notice more when you're doing good. Not a whole lot when you're not. A few people tend to notice. There's a few teachers that tend to notice. A lot of the basketball coaches notice, especially. Other than that, not a whole lot.
Well, sometimes there'll be a few kids that are friends with people on the team, and they've known for a while how good we've been. But ever since we started to do real good, that's when like a lot more people are like, "Hey, good job," or "Good luck."
And since you guys are now ambassadors of this team, do you guys have like visions of going and talking to some 5th or 6th graders about, why don't you guys try cross country? Or do you know anybody in the community that goes to school that might help out?
Not particularly, I guess. My younger brother's coming up in 3 years, I think, and he's already convincing and or brainwashing the rest of his grade into enjoying running. So
that's a good thing.
That's good.
Well,
yes, it is.
Coach drags us down to his 5th and 6th grade program
that's
so we
good.
can help out, and that's kind of how most of us get into the brainwashing.
We're all assistant coaches for 2 weeks.
The brainwashing. I like the way you guys said that.
So looking ahead, I know you guys have a little bit more time left in high school. You got a district title to defend next year, but would you be interested in pursuing a running career in college? Or do you want to do cross country? It's a little too early to tell.
I would like to, and I actually went to see like what teams have been like, and I think it'll be fun, but it's definitely going to be a lot different.
I'm also definitely interested in running in college. I have looked at the colleges I'm looking into. I've looked at their teams and their times.
Nice.
And I've kind of said, yeah, I'm going to struggle to make that team.
So you have some improvement to do.
I do have improvement to do, but it's well within my grasp.
Great.
And if you guys keep working as hard as you did going into this year, I mean, I'm sure there will be the improvement next year. And then, what's it going to mean to you guys next year if you can, defend that district title? You have a year under your belt. What did going through the ringer this year, how will that help you guys for next year?
It'll definitely give us like the experience of like Steven said previously about we're confident but not cocky, and this will help with the confidence and not being cocky about it because we know that we can do what we can.
Well, guys, we want to thank you for a few minutes. Congratulations on a great season. Good luck next year, and hopefully you guys will do a great job again. We'll come back next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Back now with 2 females from the Cochranton Cross Country program. I have Megan Mudger to my right.
And I have Maddie Burncheck.
Now, you guys don't have a female team here at Cochranton.
No, we don't.
Not enough female runners at the present time. So what incentive do you guys have for being on the cross country program? Megan?
It's mostly just like it is like a team thing, but you kind of want to focus on yourself. We do have the boys to work with, so that's like what we usually go by. And Matt and I have really been working this season together, and we work with like the junior high, and so it's something like we defend on the boys to pull us during practice.
Megan, what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
Okay.
Maddie?
I'm a sophomore.
So what got you, talk to the guys, a lot of them 5th, 6th grade, they started running into the 7th grade. How long have you been running, and, what got you interested in running for the school?
Yeah, well, in like 4th grade through 6th grade, I did like Coach's elementary thing, and that was like what really got me. And my sister ran in high school. She's out of college now, but she's the one that like got me into it. And then, so I just did the elementary school, and then in 7th grade I started, and that was when we started really competing.
So now can you beat your sister?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
So are you two trying to get more ladies involved next year so you have your own team?
Yeah, we try, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Girls just don't like running.
Don't want to run, they don't want to sweat.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a girly thing or something to do.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in cross country?
I also did like the 5th and 6th grade runs, and then my brother ran. He's only 4 years ahead of me, so it was kind of like your brother runs, so you run, and then yeah. But I'm also really good friends with the boys, so it's like I go with them.
Are you better than your brother now?
Yeah.
You guys run together sometimes?
Oh no, he's done with running.
Okay.
He tries to get running, but it just didn't come very usually.
I understand. Now, what about like the guys that said they practice in the winter and so forth? Do you guys do the same?
Yeah, last year we both did. Well, we both sort of got hurt last year,
Oh.
so we had to take a couple weeks or so off. But we did train with the boys in the winter, and then I also play softball, so I had to stop, but then go back in the summer. But I do believe it definitely helped.
Now, you play softball too, so if I'm not mistaken, softball's not only in the spring, but it's in the summer too. Do you play in the summer and run?
Yeah, I do both. There's days where I'll have softball in the evening, so it's like, oh, coach, can come to practice? So it's like, how many miles do I have to run? So I do both.
Awesome.
I was gonna say, Matt, you both did very well at the district race, just missing out on states. Competing pretty much. You guys are the Cochranton girls cross country team. And you both did fairly well. How did it feel to see how well you guys represented the school as yourselves, kind of like the little kid on the street, and you guys were up there, among the top in the district?
Yeah, it's kind of cool to kind of see that even though we don't have a team, we still can like work together with each other and still prove that we can still be up there even though we're not as a team. We're individuals that can kind of put ourselves out there a little bit. And
I'm sure you passed a lot of girls from bigger schools, some bigger teams. That had to feel pretty good passing them before the finish line.
Yeah, it's cool. Even sometimes, even though you're a big school, it doesn't mean you're good. It just means so you can be a small school and still be good, and the boys prove that. So.
Were you ladies able to go to states too?
Yeah, we went down to support them.
So you got experience of seeing what it was like and so forth?
Yeah.
But that must have been fun.
Yeah, going down to see like the atmosphere of it and everything is really important, I think, because like you can see like kind of your competition if you're planning on making it and everything, and just kind of see what the course is like and the atmosphere. It's cool.
And you get to cheer on the boys as they were running. That must have been exciting also. But one of the things that must have been real exciting is you guys get to go out to eat a little bit. That must have been fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went with them on the Friday night before the state meet, and it was fun.
Yeah, we're extremely close to the guys, and so we have a really good bond, and it's just like good to know like how close our team is.
Now I know your coaches are just a little bit off camera, but what is it like running for them? And if you need something, who do you go to talk to? Which one of the coaches did you kind of go to?
It kind of depends on what it is. It's I don't know. it's like just depends. They both are like the best coaches anyone could ask for. So it's like they're very open. You can go to them for anything. It's like if something's starting, like to go to them. They won't be like, oh no, you're fine. But no, they're like very open and very like loving and
they care.
Yeah, they care. They definitely
about
care.
The total person, not just the runner.
Yes.
So that makes you feel comfortable, both of you, right? And all the people that run for them must feel very comfortable that way. That it's a caring atmosphere, and they want us to do the best we can do.
Yeah, they're very supportive, and they care about your personality and like you as a person, and not just your running. And they care about you as a whole person, body and mind and everything.
They're both going to be sending you checks in the mail after this.
Yeah, if they weren't standing there, would you be saying?
Goals for next season. What personal goals do you have for next season across country?
Yeah.
Get the states and run?
Well, yeah. The past 2 years I got hurt, my freshman year I fractured a bone in my foot, and then I had to take a couple, or like 3 weeks off.
Let me interrupt you for 1 second, honey, if you don't mind. A lot of people don't realize people get injured running cross country. Not just playing football or hockey or whatever, right? There's injuries in cross country besides a pull muscle.
Yeah.
People always say, oh yeah, people pull a muscle, but so how did you do that to your foot?
Oh, I think most of it was just overuse. I run pretty much all year round, like we all do, and I don't know, I guess girls are just a little bit more fragile than guys are, so, running that much really puts like harm to your body, and so like, I don't know, it was really like disappointing last year, and I was hoping to come back this year, and like I had a couple problems with my hip and everything, so I had to take like 3 weeks off, so it's like hard, but it kind of motivates you to want to do better, and next year I'm just hoping that I can stay healthy and really show like what I can do.
And when you're injured, I'm sure it's got to be hard sitting out because I'm missing this. I have to start running. It's probably a very natural, feeling that you want to come back earlier or sooner than possible. It's probably tough to fight that off as well.
Yeah, it's really hard to like watch everyone else like get better and everything. You're just kind of sitting there and just watching everyone, succeed. And like I try to be as supportive as I can, and I'm always like running around like supporting the boys and Megan, watching her run and everything. So it's hard, but it gives you a lot of motivation to get back there. And
Megan, goals for you next year. Next year you're going to be a senior, right?
Yeah, definitely states. I've wanted to make it like more than 1 year for my 4 years, but that's definitely my main goal.
And do you want to run after your senior year? Would you like to go to college and run, or you're not sure yet?
I'm still debating, but I would love to continue my cross country career.
Or are you looking at softball in college? Huh?
No.
Going cross country?
Yeah.
Maddie, same thing?
yeah, cross country is the only sport that I do, so like that's like my main focus all the time. Is like that's like what I'm really hoping to run in college and see what I can do there. I don't know. But.
If there's any college coaches that view this show, I think they need to contact Coach Roach, because it looks like he has a lot of good runners coming up here that could help any college program in the future. And ladies, thank you for giving us a few minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you've been watching Sports Close-Up on Armstrong.